attempt against Trump that did the one time, and kid was a registered Republican and everything.
All right, well, here's D&D.
Hey man, you brought it up.
We flash back to the battle in Farloop with the fire, and our perspective shifts to Hadric, to the dwarven monk, burning, struggling wildly inside the body of this all-consuming fire elemental, skin being charred, and he sees himself almost being like incinerated to ash. And then you hear the muffled sounds of struggle outside, and then poof, the fire's just gone like that. Your Hadric's flesh is restored. He's no longer burning to death. But in his head, in your mind, Hadric, this is just like the culmination of like the past however 15 years of your life. Like this can't go on. Your ears are just ringing, and you're in a daze, and you feel yourself getting shoved around. You lose consciousness for a little bit. You wake up. You hear the butcher tell you about how Varen left, and this whole time, the rest of you guys after that battle have been just kind of like go with the flow, sticking together. And you didn't really realize it, but you've kind of been following Hadric, in the morning, and following through the dock, even though he's been in this kind of haze. And you follow him to the harbor, and you guys are asking all the stuff about the boats, and you're looking to him, every so often for like his input, like where do you think we should go, all this stuff. And he's just like staring off across the sea, and every so often he just like winces.
He was asleep.
And there's this ringing in your ears, Hadric. And as you're just like in this daze, you're reliving like all the stuff about your mother, and you keep flashing. You have these flashes of yourself being incinerated by this all-consuming fire, and your ears are ringing, and you feel the ground beneath your feet begin to give way as it like rocks back and forth. And this is when the ship starts to shake as people gasp. The rest of you can hear screams from outside, and somebody shouts, "Pirates!" as you see these big ballista bolts like sink their way into the deck of the ship, and then they get pulled, and they have these steel cables attached to them, and they get pulled taut, and you can see these pirates are like ziplining over. People are screaming and panicking, and Hadric is still in this haze. Does anybody want one of you to be the one who's trying to snap him out of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm happy to try by yelling very loudly.
I'll be like, doing that scene from Airplane, where we just
get a hold of yourself.
Form an orderly line to beat the shit out of him until he wakes up.
I wait behind Gavin. Arms crossed.
I got him with a shocking grasp.
So you're seeing this vision in your mind's eye, Hadric, of being incinerated by this flame, and there's this like far off voice that's calling to you, and it gets louder, and there's like I said, the ground is giving way, and the voice gets louder and louder, and you hear your friends shouting, "Hadric, get the fuck up!" And you snap out of it, and you realize you still feel the ground giving way, and it's because you're on the ship, and it's rocking as it's being pulled to and fro by these cables, and these pirates that are attacking. And this is the first time that you're fully conscious since the battle. So yeah, we turned it into a storytelling vehicle. You being sleepy this week, and a handful of pirates land on the deck. Nobody else really seems to be a fighter. There was that old guy, but you don't know where he is right now. Are you guys going out to defend the ship?
Oh yeah, I ain't no punk bitch.
So
I'm sure they can.
so all that was when we were inside the cabin.
All of that was from the time Gavin did whatever he did.
Right
that
here, yeah. I just mean like right here when just before.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You're in the cabin of the ship. Yeah. You've been on the ship for a day. They did the whole performance thing, and
I was just looking at the map, and I thought we were already out on the deck, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So it was in the cabin, yeah, that this happened. But now you're out on the deck, and initiative, as you see, again. So the pirate ship is this big dwarven ironclad. It's this like
Oh no.
like big barge-looking thing that's just like the whole sides of it are covered with these big plates, and it has a big ether cannon mounted to the top of it, or to the bow. And you see catapults, you see the ballistas. There's a couple of pirates back there that have stolen Imperial ether bolters that are, you can already see the little red glow as they're getting ready to take aim at you. And yeah. So yeah, everybody rolled initiative, right? So
Let's get the turn tracker. I think I have it turned off.
yeah. What did you get for initiative, Chris? I didn't see. It didn't go in. It didn't go
11.
in.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, because it doesn't look like my Beyond. It doesn't look like my Beyond 20 is like active on D&D Beyond right now.
Clicking on features and traits.
There's no way to get the
I
turn
did
tracker from my
that,
encounter in Beyond over into here, right? I have to like recreate it.
If you open it up, you can change people's initiative in the turn tracker.
There it
Both
is.
funny.
Oh, it does have it. Okay, cool.
Am I on
I
there?
like literally just has what I had.
Yeah,
It automatically took it over from the encounter builder and Beyond. Some of them has listed as unknown creature, but that's I know what they are.
That's a lot of unknown creatures. The fuck?
Don't worry about it.
Each one's a tentacle from a kraken. Individual kraken, not like one kraken, like multiple.
Okay. So Lang, you are up. As you charge out onto the deck, and you see these pirates are charging towards you. They come down, like they have their swords like slung over the steel cable, using it as like a zip line as they slide across, and they jump down and they're into a full run coming at you.
I think I'm gonna rage.
Right, John?
Hold on, I have to like go through my sheet and like select my choices. I'm gonna go with bears as my my rage category, so I'm gonna be resistant to every magic type except force, necrotic, psychic, and radiant.
Huh?
And then I'll walk over here and slap a bitch.
Right. As you charge to meet the charging pirate, you smack her across the face with your club. You do hit. Okay.
Then I think that's all I have.
All right. You hear these peculiar, like whirring noise coming through the air, almost like a thrum, and you see the streaks of light come from the pirate ship as the two ether bolter pirates take aim with their stolen stabs to try to shoot at Lang. Oh yeah. The first one. There's literally a fudge button. That's funny.
Ah, fudge.
All right, so the two of them shoot at you.
Sons of bitches.
And a streak of fire flies over your shoulder, missing you. But as you turn to look at that, you get blasted in the side with this searing, just feels like you've been pricked with a needle that's just like on fire. As you take 8 fire damage.
Wait, am I also resistant to fire damage? What does that even do?
If you are resistant to it, then you get half damage. I don't know if that's what you have, but if you have that, then yeah.
I don't know. It just says every damage type except force, necrotic, psychic, and radiant.
Yeah, so you take half damage from
it. Now I won't get murdered nearly as fast.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
God
Captain
damn
Captain
it.
Bragg is up, and a lot of these guys are. You could see that the guys on the boat are dwarves. The other 3 pirates currently on the ship are humans. No, sorry, 2 of them are humans. 2 of them are dwarves, including the captain. And he's just this like, he's all beard. His beard is like braided with like skulls and all manner of like these like metal like trinkets and bobbins. He's just like has this big smile on his face, and he says, "It's a great day for plunder," and he just charges towards you. I can figure out how to. There we go. And he, as he's running in, he pulls out a hand crossbow, and he shoots it at you, Lang. What did I just do? Oh. But misses. And then he is going to swing his sword at you for 12 slashing damage.
Which is also halved, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Things are already getting dicey.
Yeah. Hey, Captain, save some for me! And the first mate leaps in with his sword, swinging it wildly as he's doing. Comes in with this like double spin attack. The first one you're able to easily duck under, but the second one he goes low, and slashes across your thigh for 9 damage.
God damn.
So halved. And you have to you did half on the 12 damage too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I need you to make a strength saving throw. Okay. And your leg like buckles for like a moment, and your instinct is to drop your club and reach for your leg, but you think better of it, and you're able to adjust your footing and fight through the pain, and you're ready to continue. Except the boatswain sees you, Hadric, and he's just like almost like he is happier to prey on fellow dwarves, and he leaps towards you. He's got a hammer in one hand, and in his other hand he has a big fucking hook, like big enough that like he could easily like hook it behind, like he could hook it around your torso. He swings at you with his hook, but you are easily able to avoid it. You leap through it as he tries to pull it back and capture you.
Nimble.
And you are up.
Uh-huh. Dodging his attack, I am going to, as I'm in the flow, I got momentum going. I'm going to use my elemental attunement. Click on this feature and click the drop down box. Activate elemental attunement. Okay. And whenever I hit with an unarmed strike, I can cause it to deal fire damage. And when I deal one damage with that, I can force the target to make a strength saving throw. On a failed throw, or on a failed save, target's moved 10 feet away. So I am going to land and give him a quick 2-punch. One is a 17 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And the other one is a crit.
Punt this fucker overboard.
Yeah. So these come out as full on like fire damage. Like his fist doesn't even make contact with them. It's like a snap punch that like ignites the air.
Yeah.
Shit, you just reminded
so
me I could have done something similar with my great club. God damn it.
So the first hit is just 5 damage, and then rolling as crit damage for this one. Apparently not, though, even though I clicked on it. So I'll just roll one more d6. That one does 14 damage.
Okay.
So,
and what's the other part? It's like a knockback thing or something, right?
5 and a 14. Yes, DC 13 strength saving throw. And if not, gets knocked.
Does he need to do that on twice then? For each hit? Like once for each hit, or?
It says whenever you hit with an unarmed strike. Yeah.
So 2. Okay. So
when it's when you deal damage with one of these types. So
right, and it's a strength save, DC 12, or what was it? DC
13.
What? DC 13 strength save. Okay.
Mhm.
So you hit him with that weak punch, the 5 damage punch, the first hit, and he looks like he he's the guy on the ship who's carrying all the cargo, moving all the shit around. He digs his hook into the deck and easily plants himself, and then you hit him with that crit, and you send him, "Fuck you!" And you hear the splash as he disappears into the water.
Hell yeah. And so that was attacking a bonus action. So at that point, then knocking him back, I'm going to run up here and join Lang in fighting, engaging these guys.
Okay.
So, but I have no other actions available. So.
And you see I think I described this last time, but just shifting it around a little bit. But below this big ether cannon on the front of the dwarven ironclad, this kind of gate kind of slides open, and you see these little skimmer ships that each have a pair of more dwarven pirates on them. Shoot out the front of this thing, and they start zooming around one to each side of the ship. And there's steam coming off the back of them. They have these little clockwork, little engines that are driving these things forward as one each is going along each side of the ship. But Fan, you're up.
All right. 25 feet. I'm going to move 25 feet up here around to the side of all three of these pirates here. I'm just going to hold out my hand and blast them with a thunder wave. So I need each of them to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Do a good job.
So, Captain?
I did not mean to cast that at... Oh, it's a second level spell, actually. Whatever.
Constitution save, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Does this knock them prone also?
It knocks them back 10 feet.
But not prone?
But not prone.
And well, the captain passes. The first mate passes. And the irregular pirate lady she fails, the one in the back from your perspective.
So they take 11 on a fail or half that on a success, and if they fail, they're thrown 10 feet backwards.
And you hear her scream as she gets blasted off the side of the ship and splashes into the water. But you do know and notice that those little skimmer ships are coming, right to where both of those guys were knocked off.
Action economy.
Gavin, you're
then
up.
I'll finish my turn with a bonus action, Bardic Inspiration delay. That's the end of my turn.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah.
How do you bardically inspire Ling, Bard?
Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Listen, it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be serious. But I'm going to ask that you do something. Which what you just did counts as something. But I'm just saying for the future. Gavin, you're up.
Oh, damn I. Which one is the captain?
No,
is he the one centermost? White background? Oh.
Yeah, do you guys not... Oh, is it just because they're overlaid on each other that you can't see the name?
I don't see any
not
names.
See their names?
You can't see names unless you check the option that says players can see names. It's underneath the... There's a little box next to where you put the names in. You can check.
There's a box that says nameplate. That's the only thing I see.
Well, it is irrelevant. How much damage did he
It's the
take
one.
so far?
It's the one on the far right.
Yeah, how much
The
did
captain just took a little
Barely.
bit of damage from the thunder wave that Fan just did.
Nobody else hit him?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to advance forward a little bit, and I'm gonna bonus action conjure my packed weapon as a great sword, and as that flourishes into life, I'm gonna have it be like tipped down to the deck and pommel up, and gonna basically like leave my left hand on it, kind of like using it as a makeshift staff. I'm gonna draw arcane energy from it, channel it through my body, amplify it, and release upon the captain a witch bolt. With I'll roll it with inspiration too. Where is the button? What is this doing?
I see it now.
Advantage roll. Okay. 23 to hit. That was a really bad roll. Holy shit. 13 lightning damage to Capitan.
Okay.
That's
And
about
that
it
was
for me.
witch bolt, right? So you stood on your sword and channeled the lightning to him, right?
Yeah.
And he obviously is hurt by it, but he's just like grinning maniacally through the pain, and he turns his head back and he says, "Send over the scrap heap!" And you can see these catapults being loaded over there, and you can hear that the just like as the those skimmers have sounds like they've arrived at the side of the ship or sides of the ship. You can hear shouting and the sounds of sloshing water. But first, two more shots from the marksman on the other ship. This time both going at you, Fan.
Oops. Ignore that roll.
Oh, shit.
What did...
Should we roll a d25? Or
I don't
just
even know what that...
25
I hit the
save?
cast
I don't think that's actually a
button.
roll.
Yeah, I hit the cast button and it just threw a bunch of dice. I don't even know what the fuck it was throwing.
25, 3d12.
I think I just
As
stroked
one
off.
whizzes over your head, kind of singeing your hair, and another one hits into your shoulder like a Star Wars blaster bolt for 5 fire damage, Fan.
Five.
Yep. And you guys can all hear coming from the other side. Up there, you dogs! Up there!
Sounds like we have company.
And then you hear, as you can see, something is being launched from the catapult onto the ship. Hadric, make a dexterity save.
No.
It's okay. You can choose to fail.
23.
And you're easily able to avoid this poorly aimed and not aerodynamic hunk of metal. It looks like I don't know, like a part of a barrel or something. That's just like they're just like chucking junk over here from their catapults, like metal scrap. As you're easily able to, and it lands and rolls past you, Gavin, and slamming up against the wall of the cabin.
Big shit.
And the captain leaps forward again, and he says, "Aren't there any more of you?" As he swings wildly with his long sword. Once at Hadric.
Not on my watch. I mean, you can still hit Hadric, but apparently I have Guardian. And if he hits something other than me, I can make an opportunity to attack against him.
Oh, he does hit somebody other than you, so Hadric is going to hit you for 13 damage with a sword.
Oops, not 113. That could be bad.
And now, Lang, you can make your opportunity attack.
That's an 18 hit.
18 does hit.
Well, damage. I'm not going to push him. I don't know if there's any point.
Okay. And you hear a crunch, and something gives way a little bit, as you definitely just broke a bone with that. And he screams in pain, but almost like still enjoying it, as he then comes around to you with his long sword and hits you for 13 damage.
Uh-oh!
And the first mate is going to turn to you, Fan. And he looks like he's like a all business, no talk kind of guy. And he just like pulls out his longsword, and he's just like carving an X across your chest with his two big two-handed swings. For one is going to hit you for 10 damage. And the second one is going to miss, but then the captain shouts out, he says, "You better kill him or you're not getting none of the loot!" And the first mate grunts and he rolls that attack. What? Hold on a second. And then he does corrects his swing and does hit you for another 9 damage, Fan. I have to go because Leo hit his head and Christina needs me. I don't know if I'm going to be back shortly or not. I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're meant to lose this. We're all gonna die.
Rest in
Got 2
peace.
health left. I don't think you got much left, Lang. I don't think.
Oh no, I got 7.
Yeah, we're going
This
down
doesn't look
next
good.
round. Only heal one of you. And I've got 2 hit points, so I might have to heal myself.
I'll be right back.
We are going to die.
Wait.
Quite. Quake.
Just wanted you to know the No Kings protest in Boston is coinciding with the Pride Parade, so the city just decided to lump everything together and call it No Kings But Yas Queen. That is why I love my city.
Oh, Dave's typing. That's not good. Okay, good. That's RT and G is like, what part? What does this part of the ship actually do? And it's like the front, like center part where all the photon torpedoes usually like come out of. And comment was like, what doesn't it do?
He does everything.
So it's actually the main deflector, but it also does everything science related to, basically.
Well, yeah, because every solution requires you to, reroute warp core energy to the main deflector.
The Quadri is unstable. We had to launch the reactor. Wonder how many times on set, like an actor just spouts some techno babble, and they're just like, "What did I just say?" And they're like, "It sounds good for the show, kids. The kids love it. It's fine. Just next scene, move on."
Engel. Up. Med. Hold. Kom igjen, gutten min. Ja. Up.
Jeffries too. I wonder if that's actually like is that just a thing on the Enterprise, or is that like a real
What thing?
Real thing. The like tunnels they climb through, the Jeffries tubes in Star Trek.
Are you asking if we have Jeffries tubes in real life?
That's what I was wondering. It was just something like uniquely named to
Oh yeah, I don't think
Enterprise.
I don't think the name Jeffries tube is like a real thing. That's like some kind of like inside joke or something. I think like I'm not entirely. I read like a long time ago like where that name came from, but it's not like a commonplace
Oh
thing.
yeah. It says they're named after Matt Jeffries, the designer of the Enterprise, the original Enterprise.
I think like they invented the concept from somebody asking like, well, how are you supposed to get from like here to here or whatever the hell? And so it's like, you know what? I think we need access like crawlways like everywhere.
Made for good TV. I remember that one episode where they had the like remember the like robots that gained sentience that were like the self-repairing robot, and they had to send it in on its one-way mission into the Jeffrey tube to fix something.
Yep.
It's a very sad episode. I feel bad for that robot. What the hell are those things called?
Exocoms.
Exocoms. Exocops. He's just a little guy. He'd float in the air. Just made sound.
And they could magic up whatever tool they needed. It's gonna be like us once we devise robots that have their own 3D printing capabilities. They'll just be able to like walk around and be like, oh, we need a fucking screwdriver, and then just like shit out a screwdriver. I would demand that the 3D printer
ways to go right now.
Put where the ass is. That way it can actually shit out the tools.
I got a ways to go until they learn how hands work. Tesla robot can't even pour a cup of coffee yet.
Oh, I watched a video today of like an automatic Tesla car just plow over a fucking like toddler safety dummy.
I'd seen that.
And then slowly ran over it.
Well, not only that, but it was like a test of like a child crossing for a school bus, and it ignored the like red like stop sign on the school bus and just plowed through.
That is a very insensitive comment for me to hear right now. But I'm back.
I was only laughing because it was a Tesla that did it.
My nuts.
It's a test too. It wasn't a real child. It was just a dummy.
Yeah. He had a big old bump on his head. The kind that like.
The kind from yesteryear's play days.
It was. I guess yeah. I mean, I guess it was normal, but it was like alarming enough that like she wanted a second opinion, and then we did some research and cross-referenced some pictures, and we were gonna keep them up for a little
remember
bit.
throwing a pebble at Nikki's head when I was fucking like 10, and it looked like the fucking like he got a bump that looked like the pebble went inside of his head.
Yes, that's the way Leo has. And Christina said that like she saw him fall from like across the room, and then saw the bump inflate, and then that's when she called me.
Yeah. It happens. Definitely iced the fuck out of
it. Yeah. As long as the research that I did said, as long as like he's like whatever signs of concussion, like he's doesn't lose consciousness, he's not throwing up, he's not acting weird, and then like keep an eye on him for a little while.
I got one of those as a kid.
Tell him his bedtime.
Yeah, I remember I got one where I remember I was.
I actually got one as an adult too.
All right, everybody ready?
Back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So the first mate just slashed an X in your chest, fan, with the help of the orders from his captain, as you kind of like are flying back in slow motion. And I need you to make a strength save, fan.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
yeah.
I don't need you to make a strength save. I don't
Okay.
need you to. Never mind. That's only if I choose to do that, which I didn't do. Okay. And Hadric and Gavin, you can hear some more yelling from your side of the ship, as you could hear the sounds of multiple people and one person saying, "I'm gonna kill that bloody bastard!" And you can hear people climbing up the side on the port side of the ship.
How are they
Does
climbing
it sound
up?
like the one that I?
Yes, it does. That shouting was sounds like the guy that you launched off.
Perfect. Rematch.
But you're up, Hadric.
Oh.
You just see Fan just took like that was like a pretty significant hit for you, right, Fan? Those 2 slashes. Oh yeah. Well,
Yes.
I don't
The
know
answer
if
is
it's
yes.
muted, but he has 2 health. Yeah, he has 2 health. It's not a nice GIF, 6 or Chris, but it was like that. It was like a Looney Tunes bump.
Okay, so Hadric hears that, acknowledges that there's these 2 guys still standing here. Gonna try to do some work on them. I turn to the captain and I'm going to hit and then use a flurry of blows. And these will all be fire damage. That elemental attunement lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 1 hit is a 8. It's not gonna hit. I'm
Hitting
sure.
the captain, right? You said.
Yep. And then a 1. Natural 1, so it's critical fail.
Huh?
And then lastly a 16.
Okay, and 16 will hit.
All right. Hello? Roll. There it goes. For 5 damage.
Okay. And
So,
is that gonna knock him back or?
3 strikes. It would knock him straight back, but Lang is there, so.
Okay. And it doesn't knock you prone or anything, right? It just knocks you back.
Correct. Yeah, it's just a push.
Okay.
Or I could subsequently also do a pull as well, but yeah, that's
Right.
So
Okay. So you unleash a flurry of blows, landing 1 good hit and slamming him back into Lang's waiting arms. But first, Fan, you're up as you are staggering as you lost a lot of blood from these 2 slashes across your chest.
Well, cast a healing word on myself. I get 6 health back. Then I'm gonna cast Blade Ward, which the enemy has got to subtract a D4 from their attack rolls against me.
Okay.
It's like a bunch of like spectral swords are flying around me.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. And you hear more scuffling and climbing on the starboard side of the ship. And Gavin, you're up.
All right. Let us. Fuck. I will step over to yonder, peer over the side, and what do I see?
You see the hooked man and 2 other dwarven pirates climbing up nets on the side, about halfway up. and you see their little slag skimmer still sputtering at the side of the
And what do they see?
in the water.
The answer is fire.
It sure is.
Burning hands.
So what do they have to for
Dex,
13 damage, and they have
Dex
to make
14
a
and
dex
half.
save? And I'm gonna say that they have disadvantage on that because they are not in a good position to be able to.
Yeah, I'd say that their position is those ropes
so
should burn and they should fall down.
Yeah, well, I don't think the rules support your theory,
Yeah, well, I'll take what I can get.
which is dumb. But I'm pretty sure you're gonna. You don't worry about it. It is weird how like not every firebolt says that specifically. Like if it hits a flammable object, it starts burning. But like most fire spells don't say that.
That's
Maybe I'm
fair.
lying.
Let's
Actually,
see.
does burning hand say that?
Flammable objects in the cone that aren't being worn or carried start burning. So.
Okay. So
yeah.
I'm just an asshole. Okay. So are ships flammable?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Back in the era of wooden ship combat, they would burn down all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. You're on a wooden ship.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Not for
Well,
long.
we'll just keep that in mind. Okay, so it's Dex what? Sorry. What's the number?
Dex 14.
Save.
Yeah, Dex 14.
Disadvantage. So this guy. The boatswain is engulfed in flames, and you hear a sizzle as you see his charred body fall into the water and start to sink. And the two other pirates on that side. One of them is able to duck behind the other one, the guy in the back, kind of like, lets go for a second and drops down a level, and is mostly blocked by the other one who takes full damage, and he takes half, so. But they both look pretty charred, and the ropes start burning.
Huzzah. Okay. And then I redirect my attention back towards Captain Barge. And I strengthen that electrical connection that I still have tethered to him and use my bonus action to deal a witch bolt damage to him.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Partially a mix-up for my shitty roll the first time. Not quite, but 12 damage,
right.
lightning.
And the captain is wreathed in electricity as he glows brightly, and you see his skeleton through the shock, and he's like, and he looks at you with this like masochistic smile, and then he falls to his knees, and he his head's back and his mouth drops open, and his eyes are rolling back into the back of his head as he's just charred and barely conscious.
Got that Cho the Sword Hunter open mouth like saliva scream like in my head.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was going for. Good. I'm glad. All right, Lang, you're up.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so that ends the spell, right? Witch bolt.
Yeah.
Okay.
There go
So
my
Captain is
spell
not.
slots.
He's down. He doesn't appear to be dead, but he is down.
The captain's fucked up. He's down?
Yes. Gavin just finished him with his lightning tether.
Excellent. I have decided to try to bash his head in with a great club.
The already
I
downed captain.
Yes.
Well,
Right, so
then you have
you're,
advantage
you're,
then.
you're trying to execute the unconscious. You're trying to execute the unconscious captain. That's what you're
Try
doing.
again. Yeah. I don't like him. No.
Maybe it's a
know.
show of intimidation. Maybe they'll all leave. Fucking no.
I'm not saying you can't do it. I just want to make sure that you understand that he's down.
He's not a
and,
threat at
and
this
you,
point,
you're,
so it's action. Yeah,
you're
he's just
coup de
asking for
grace.
Yeah,
action.
he's not, but he is a bastard. I will hit First Mate Henson.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll push him just because. I rolled a 25 to hit the captain, but I also have reckless attack, so I can just do that instead. Should I re-roll or no?
No. That's fine. You can use the roll that you got. Yeah, you hit.
Nine damage.
All right. And you're gonna do the knockback, right? So what does he have to do for that?
If I hit it, I push it 10 feet straight away.
And there's no save.
Nope. The save is that I hit it with a great club.
All right. So he's gonna get pushed that way as you launch him with the big swing of this chunk of wood. Anything else?
No.
You can hear that it sounds like the pirates on your side of the ship are almost at the top.
Oh, he's so fucked.
Okay. Next up, the snipers are gonna go, and they're gonna shout. You hear them like from across the water, Captain, Captain! As they both take aim at you, Gavin, and fire with their ether bolters. What is going on with this battlefield? Whoa.
Oh, all the way up there. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah, you
have
gotta zoom out.
the full. I didn't have the full map available.
What is Gavin's AC? 13. And one is going to whiz right past your head, and the other one is going to hit you right in the like the collarbone area for 5 fire damage as one of the ether bolts, the fire bolts from the ether bolters, slams into you, Gavin.
Stings.
And
Which one hit me? The right one or the
you
left
hear
one?
the right one hit you.
Well, then he's gonna be the wrong one soon.
Okay, and then you hear some shouting off your side of the ship, Gavin. Crap, shit, what do we do? Put it out, jump! And you hear splash, splash, as you hear those two pirates dive back into the water, and you can hear the of their thing revving up again as they seem to be taking this opportunity to run away. But the other two on the other side finish their climb up the top, and they hop off towards you, and they are brandishing. These guys don't necessarily look as tough as the other pirates, or like maybe they're like laborers or just regular crewmen on the pirate ship. But they are going to swing at you with their axes, Lang. So the first one.
I would like them to not do that.
Gonna miss you. And he is going to swing again. He's going to miss you again. And the second one, they just are not very good, and they do not hit you. As they swing wildly, they are clearly less experienced in combat than the rest of the crew here.
Yeah, fuck him.
And the first mate, he was slammed up against a big spool with his coil of rope there, and he shouts over his shoulder, and he's like, the scrap heap, come on! And then you hear choo 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 as more of those catapults launch these more big chunks of metal onto the ship. Gavin and Lang, please, both of you make a dex save.
Well. How do I roll with advantage again?
Shift.
If it isn't the consequences of my own actions. And again, you're easily able to avoid this, what again appears to just be scraps of metal, like maybe pieces of oversized armor that are like not in great shape, and they just like clang against the deck. One of them hits the main sail and rolls down it and clangs to the deck. And it's like still, spinning around, like, when you drop something that's like round and it keeps spinning. The first mate looks over at the captain and the other pirates, and he looks to the two scrubs that are next to Lang, and he says, "Good luck, mates!" And he jumps over the side and catches a ride on the slag skimmer, and you can hear him saying, "Looks like I'm captain now, boys. Go!"
Opportunist.
He hopped on their skimmer thing. You said.
Yeah, he's hopped on that one of the ones that you made flee with the fire. He hopped on that, the first mate did, and he's going back to the ship. Or trying to. Hadrick, you're up.
So the these two, there.
Yeah, they're
These
gone.
two guys are still climbing. They're gone. Okay.
No, they jumped down. They got back on their skimmer and are fleeing. And the first mate just jumped onto their skimmer off the side of the boat to escape with them.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to. I notice the commotion is still on the other side. I'm going to go around and I'm going to leave a little bit of space here because I have reach on these attacks with elemental opportunity or elemental attunement. I mean, and I'm going to try and get a couple more strikes going. I'll do another. Another flurry of blows. I'll do that. So first one against this guy. 15 to hit. Will that hit that one?
Yes, that hits.
Okay. So
these are just like I said, dwarven crewmen on the pirate ship.
Okay. So first guy hits for 9.
Okay.
And it's like an initial punch. And I think I will.
That punch causes him to grab his gut, and his eyes are bulging out of his head. That was a good hit on this guy.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll follow with a second strike against him also, and then the bonus, the extra bonus one, I'll do against this guy. So the
That
second
pirate,
punch,
sorry, isn't there. That pirate's still climbing up.
He's
That
not
pirate's
there.
not up yet. Yeah, like you could
Okay.
hear, there's somebody there, but unless you go to the edge, you can't see them.
Okay. Well, then
They're
the
like
second
still
hit
hanging off.
is a unnatural 20.
Okay.
For another 7 damage.
And he's still like clutching his gut as you come around with like a flaming kick, and his head hits the deck. He's out.
He's out. Okay. And then I will do a like a spinning roundhouse and extend the kick like the flame off of the kick to hit this one then.
Okay.
14.
That will hit.
Yes. Excellent. Oh yeah, max damage again. So 9.
And another good hit on that guy who looks seriously winded from that. Fan, you're up.
All right.
You notice that like all of those pieces of junk that were flung over are like still kind of like humming and vibrating, and the one piece is like still spinning around. Like at first it looked like it was a natural way it could still be spinning based on like the shape of the object and how it landed, but it seems strange to you.
I roll an Arcana check to try to see like what is it like. I'm trying to see like if they're like moving in a pattern, like they're about to like form
Sure.
into something.
Sure.
Or
Roll. Give me a Arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not sure. It doesn't. Something is going on. You spot like a faint
Where's the closest
orange glow. The closest one is I'm gonna say right there. You see that ping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is like this. That is like the first, it's like a barrel almost, and it's like that. You see like a faint orange glow coming from inside of it, and it's like still spinning, and it looks like it's like speeding up.
Concerns me, so I'm gonna move a little bit away from it. By a little bit, I mean a lot. So any of those pirates looking bloodied that we're fighting currently, or
Though, yeah, I mean, well, the one that's here just took a heavy hit from Hadric, and he looks like he got the wind knocked out of him. And then the other one, there's a pirate climbing up on that side of the ship, but you can't see her right now. But yes, the one conscious enemy that you can see is, yeah, it's definitely wounded.
10 to shoot the one probably misses. And then I'll use the bardic
10 misses.
inspiration to the Hadric, and I'm just gonna give him like that one meme of like the grizzly man guy in the woods or whatever, is he just kind of nods. I'm just gonna nod at Hadric. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. And the last pirate is going to
use that for those two.
Wait, doesn't Lang have inspiration too?
I believe so.
I do.
Yeah. The bardic enemy.
Lasts up to an hour, so it's
Yeah. Okay. And so this pirate, she climbs back up, and she's got this like snarl on her face, and then she sees the situation, and the look on her face kind of changes, and she kind of like she puts her finger in her mouth and looks down, and she's like, "Oh well, you all wouldn't harm a lady, right?" And I need everybody to make a wisdom save.
Oh boy.
That bitch off the belt. I put my virtual dice in dice jail.
Yeah, I gotta refresh your browser.
What'd you get, Chris?
Is that how it works?
19.
Just delete their existence.
So all of it, for the three of you, she's obviously like trying and failing to like garner pity. But Fan, you believe her, and Fan is just like looking at her with like hearts in his eyes, and he's like, I can fix her. This like missing tooth pirate lady, as you are charmed by her, Fan.
If I
But the
could
rest
just
of you are
go to
not.
a dentist.
I already knew that. I didn't have to roll the save.
And then she sees that like it worked on you, and she kind of like winks at you, Fan. But then she looks at the rest of you, and she's just like, "Guess not." And she's going to jump off the side. You will get attack of opportunity, Hadric.
I feel like by default I should be immune to that.
And
No, I know you. You'd be attracted to the bad guy.
I thought your
13.
character was like nice and like liked nature and living things. You're like
Yes, I wouldn't
executioner.
avoid hitting her just because she's a woman.
No, it's not just because she's a woman, but she's trying to get your sympathy. Like, please don't hurt me.
I
What'd you
don't know.
get, Chris?
That captain was asleep.
13 on the attack of opportunity.
13 to hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just barely misses as she
You got Bardic
pops up on
Inspiration.
the side. Oh yeah, you do have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh,
But
I
there's
missed
also
that.
something going on behind you. As you also notice this strangely you could tell. Hadric, give me a give me an Arcana check with advantage, Hadric.
My inspiration dice are
Advantage.
D6 is awesome.
So with advantage is 17.
Okay, something is going on with these chunks of metal that they flung over. That it's some kind of like uh, forge imbuement.
I think there was a confusion there about the inspiration. Did you do advantage or did you do a plus?
He told me to
Well, I
roll
told him
that
to do
Arcana with
advantage.
advantage. Yeah. I didn't use the Bardic Inspiration on the attack of opportunity.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some kind of like forge imbuement going on that you're very familiar with from the Kazakh Throd. Like the forge singers could do this kind of stuff where they could like imbue like the power, like the spirit of the forge into metal objects. Something like that is happening behind you. So you see this like metal barrel like spinning faster, and then like the other pieces of metal like start to clatter all around, and just like start whipping through the air, clunk, 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 as all the pieces of scrap metal like are pulled into this central mass that places a big rusty fist down and stands up on two legs as a as a scrap like an iron golem missing its head, but animates on the front of the ship.
What the hell?
And you can hear the pirates that have are either still back on the dwarven ironclad or the ones on the skimmer getting away cheer. Lang, you're up.
But I'm going to die. I think I have to drop. Wait. Never mind. I'm gonna push this guy off the edge.
All right. Go for it.
Hold me now.
And by push, she means use her great club like a golf club and just fucking
Yeah.
drive.
Or
6 feet.
Yeah. So this guy was like, this guy was like on all fours, and he also is like clearly like not cut out for this life. Like he just like got hornswoggled into joining this pirate crew last week, and Hadric just like kicked him in the gut with a fire kick that like knocked the wind out of him, and he's like, wait, please, I'm sorry. And then and like just looks down at him and shakes her head and just tees up and he just hears this like horrible crunch as he just goes flying into the water, limp. Sploosh.
got him. Well, that's good enough for me.
But before all that, because I fucked up, actually it's Gavin's turn before that. So that we'll still say that happens, but Gavin, it's your turn. I accidentally skipped you.
Oh. What would you say?
We'll say by now, like these guys are like here.
Yeah, what would you say if I wanted to witch bolt their skimmer engine?
I would say roll. There are still the snipers. You're probably the only person who could do anything about that. But
That is true. Yes, I will. As they speed off into the water, you see me like kind of like make finger gun with my right hand, and I like narrow one eye, and I'm just like, pew, as I shoot like a single witch bolt off into the water, aimed at their fucking sputtering little clockwork engine.
okay. And Witch Bolt, right?
Yeah.
No, or well, you just rolled Eldritch Blast. So you say Eldritch Blast?
Sorry. Eldritch Blast is what I meant. I don't have his spell slots anymore.
Okay. So you hit it.
Eight force damage.
All right, and you shoot the finger gun at this. Like it's not that. It's like kind of like cobbled together, and you aim and you pew and you can see that the whole thing come apart, and the skimmer like loses a lot of momentum, and all the first mate and the two raiders on board get thrown overboard.
Well, don't have to worry about those assholes for a while. Or ever, maybe. Okay. And I will, you know what? Well, that's fine. Captain is down, right?
Yes.
One, two, three, four. I'll move up just a square and end my turn there.
Okay. Okay. Then it was Lang's turn, and now the Ether Bolters guys are going to shoot. One's going to shoot at Hadric. That miss. And one's going to shoot at Gavin. And that one will hit for 8 damage, Gavin. As another one on the left this time.
Ah, son of a bitch!
Okay, they're all down. Okay, the golem is up. It takes a step towards you, Hadric, and you can hear like the whole when this thing takes a step, like the whole ship, shifts in the water.
Mm-hmm.
and it is going to swing at you with its big fist.
Bring it.
Does a 29 hit?
No.
And I'm thinking 86.
18.
I'm
18
very nimble.
damage.
Okay.
Bludgeoning.
He sees that was it his fist or is it like a weapon or
It was
anything
his
like that?
fist. Yeah, it was like
Right.
it was like
Stone
a fist.
cock.
So he sees the fist coming in, and he's gonna take on the stone stance.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. 1 second. I need to, just in case.
It's much worse for us.
No. Make things not much worse. Okay, it didn't matter, and in fact, it almost made things much worse, but I didn't because it's kind of a wild swing. I'll say. You see, this thing doesn't have a head. You're not sure how it can even sense where you are, but you know, it's obviously not using regular eyesight anyway. It's forge magic, but yeah. So it hits you for 18. Go ahead.
Okay. I would like to, if you're cool with it, I'd like to flavor my deflect attacks ability. It's supposed to just be like like I said, it's like actually deflecting an attack. But I was thinking if I use that as saying I'm like going into a stone stance and it's like negating some of the damage rather than like passing it off.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll for that. So I actually reduced the damage by 15. Yeah.
So you guys see this big thing, this big hunk of metal just like come down and clock Hadric like in the forehead with this hit that you're like, especially right now with as wounded as you are, but even on a good day, like that would kill you. And like it pulls its fists back, and you can see that Hadric's like entire like forehead is like, you're doing like stone, or you're like turning to like metal almost?
No, I'm not like turning into it. It's just the stance, like the stance for my kata is just kind of like, just kind of like I look perfectly normal. I'm just like perfectly still, and the blow like is just absorbed basically.
Okay, so this punch, you see this punch coming in slow motion, and like it looks like it's gonna crush Hadric's skull, but instead it like bounces off like it was like like a little puny hammer like hitting into an anvil. It's just like it's like pinged off of his forehead, and Hadric doesn't even move like a millimeter. And then it is going to come around and swing with a big jagged sword arm.
Also to me?
Yeah.
Nice.
Jesus Christ.
All right, I'm dead.
Wait, can you see? You can see my rolls?
No, I mean, you said Jesus Christ.
Oh. So what happened both times is I rolled it, and then it has disadvantage, and then I rolled this disadvantage dice separately because I'm like rolling the attack, from beyond or whatever. I guess I should just click shift or whatever. Both of the times the second dice was a nat 20, but that was like disadvantage, so not a crit. But the sword attack, then you just hear this like crunch of like viscera as Hadric gets impaled by this hunk of steel for 27 damage. Does that knock you out?
Oh yeah, I'm looking to make sure that I don't have anything else that. Yep. Nope. That's it. Yeah. So I mean, I take that first hit from the fist.
What was his roll to hit?
26 or something, was it?
His roll to hit for this one was 29.
Never mind.
Yeah, like took
So you
the
can use the
first
bardic
hit from the
inspiration
fist.
to reduce it, but 6 I could imagine.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm hitting that. I think I just let my guard down a
Reduce
little
the
too
hit,
soon
not
out of that
the
stance, and then
damage.
the blade pierces me.
Yeah, the chance to.
Okay, yeah. And
Or
you are
rather,
up next, Hadric.
it adds that number to his AC, but there was no way it was gonna math out.
Yeah. Hadric, give me a death save.
So 18.
Okay.
So that's
Pass. All right. Fan, you're up. You see
death
the
save the
golem
first
kind of
round you
like.
get knocked?
You
That was
do
my
when
turn.
it's your. Where was this turn?
Yeah.
He went after the thing.
Oh, convenient.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Well, there were a
cast-
lot of people that went between them, but they're all dead.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna cast mirror image on myself. So now I'm like surrounded by a sheath of just like fucking dancing blades, and there's like 3 fans that are just glitching around and like fucking like just like Pikachu, like fucking what was that move he used? I can't remember. Or he's just like quickly jumping around all
Yeah.
over the place.
Oh no, you're like One Punch Man doing the sideways
Sideways steps.
steps. Yeah.
I was thinking like the in the animated speed run Sonic's versus Mario, or like where fucking Fox is just like wave dashing and he's just like fucking glitching all over the place. That's just what I'm doing. I'm just like wave dashing in place. And that was my action, and then we use my bonus action to give another bardic inspiration to Gavin.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna move back here, as far away from that thing as possible.
Okay. And you burst back into the cabin, and you see the people like huddled, crying.
I'm on top of the poop deck. Sorry if I cut.
Oh, you
out
go
some of-
up there. Okay.
Yeah.
You go up there. Okay. Got it. All right. Gavin, you are up. This Hadric coughs up like a big gob of blood as he's struggling to breathe, flat on his back on the deck.
All right, I'm gonna
As
rush.
the golem is just kind of like lumbering around.
Well, this is where I rush forward and join the fray. As my great sword drags behind me, I use the momentum to do an overhead swing, and I'll fucking do an advantage with a lucky point on top of that. Oh, so close. 25 to hit.
All right, that does hit.
14. Oh, I have a choice here.
You can also add my inspiration to your damage too,
Yes.
if you want.
I will do that. But first, the damage type. Let's see. I've got a choice. I can do Radiant, Psychic, or Necrotic. Or normal.
We can't go wrong with psychic or radiant. I feel like necrotic's kind of iffy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Radiant damage. And add as D. Was it D6s for
Kill
this?
this thing with divine for
D6 for the
yep,
added
D6.
damage. Add another 6 to that, so that's 20 total radiant damage.
Okay, and you come in with this like sword of light, as you slash
play,
a
like,
big
a cool,
gaping.
Loop rift.
You slice a big gash into its rusty torso, and you can see this like glowing like fire ember inside.
Huzzah! I think that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Lang, you are up.
I plan to turn this guy into another golf ball. Behold my fury. Behold me using reckless attack.
And what are you hitting?
This guy.
That
Golf
guy's
ball
dead.
number 2. That guy's dead?
That guy's
Wait,
that
is this guy
guy's
large?
is down.
That guy's, yeah, would be large.
That's why you couldn't see the nameplate. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna hit this one instead.
Is the pirate lady all?
Yeah,
So
she
dead?
Yeah, she's gone.
Well, she
she's not
jumped
there.
off or
She's
something.
not. She jumped
Oh.
off. She jumped
I
off.
pushed the headless golem back 2 feet once I roll my damage.
2 whole feet.
So
Wait,
you're swinging your club at the golem.
I'm sorry, I meant 10. Yes,
5
I'm
feet.
swinging my club at it.
Okay. And what is the rule for your push thing? Let's see.
I don't
Is it
think
just
there's
if you
a
hit it?
size limit on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's large or
but
smaller.
but let me just see.
I think it's like the old like
As long as
crusher
you hit
feat
it.
from
Yeah.
the previous edition. Yeah, when you hit it, they just get knocked back.
I just wanted to make sure if you had to do damage to it, because you do 0 damage to it.
That is interesting.
But
Cool.
Oh, is it because it's magic?
yes, your club doesn't seem to physically impact the golem. Like you don't make a dent, but it does get create like a shockwave that does knock the golem back.
Noted.
Shillelagh.
Yeah, I know. I just
Two
didn't want to have
different
to
characters.
use it because I forgot to
that
shillelagh
is-
before I enraged.
It's
I just say the word. I don't actually know what shillelagh is.
it's whole plate like gongs with the hit from Lang.
Bing!
And the snipers are up, and they're going to shoot one
Let's
shot
attack a bonus action.
at Gavin, which is going to hit for 6 damage. Reckless attack isn't any kind of action; it's just a choice.
It just is a thing. Okay.
I mean, I guess it's an attack. It's like instead of a regular attack. you do
Reckless
it.
attack is a choice.
Gavin, you take
a
6
lifestyle, really.
fire damage, and Lang, you are also shot at, and you take 7 fire damage.
I'm down. Wait, I still take half that, don't I? Shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I am so close to being down.
all right. And the golem is up, and it is disoriented and it can't see, and it's gonna see randomly which way it goes. And it is going to wander over this way and bump into the side of the ship and take a step back, and it's going to turn and just walk here, but it's not going to attack you as it is confused and headless. Hadric, make me another death save.
1 failure.
Okay, Fan, you're up. Fan, you hear some kind of commotion going on beneath you in the cabin, but it looks like you guys are really on the ropes here.
Yeah, where the fuck is the
Guess I'll
crew?
use my movement to open the door and see what the commotion is. What's happening in the cabin?
You see that old man, that older man. He is he's up and he's walking towards you. And he looks at you
Which
and he
older
like
man? Sorry.
seems so you had seen him in town before you guys left. He
Right, yeah, he was the
you clocked him
suspicious
as he
guy.
went into the yeah, he wasn't really suspicious. He just like looked familiar, but you couldn't put your finger on who he was. And he went into the blacksmith shop and bought some kind of polearm halberd or something. And then you happen to notice he happened to be on the same ship as you, and he looks down at you and he says, "You kids need some help?"
I just
We all
point to the big
simultaneously
headless skull in
grin
my
at
eye.
him with like bloody teeth. Like,
He
I'll
he puts his hand on your shoulder. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
What, I'm sorry. Is he in action or do I have my turn still on?
No, it's still your turn. It's still your turn,
Okay.
yeah. But like he's going next, basically.
Right. I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
So I just kind of pull up my lute and play a quick jaunty tune for him to
Okay.
hurry the fuck out of the cabin. Hurry the fuck out of the cabin.
And he looks at you and smiles, and he like throws off his he pulls off his cloak, and he like unwraps this like leather that was around the blade of his new shiny halberd, and you can see this is like some of Vasterland's finest work. This halberd that this guy bought, and you can see that he is just like ripped under there. Like he's old, but he is just fucking jacked. And he just like assumes this stance, and he just like you blink and he's gone, fan. And Gavin and Lang, like this guy just like Goku DBZ teleports in between you guys with it like shing, with his halberd, and then he just like stops for a moment and he grins and he just like impales it through the center of the golem and hits that fiery core, and the whole thing just kind of like a big flare up inside, and then it just falls to the ground clanging, and you can hear the first mate in the water. He's like, pull back, pull back. And the old man, he kneels down to help you, Hadric, and he pulls out like some stuff out of his pouch, some like ointments and stuff, and heals, gives you like first aid, so you're not bleeding out anymore. And he stands back up, and he turns to you guys, and he says, "You kids sure can't fight."
Lang is wheezing.
And he looks at you. He's talking to all of you, but he looks at you, Fan, and he says, "Name's Ander Stormwind. Pleasure to meet you." And Fan,
Just not Adam. I said not a moment too. Or I'm sorry. Is Hadric up? I was gonna use
Hadric is he tends to him. Yeah, he's not dying anymore. He's still unconscious.
I'll use a healing word to get him.
Okay. So
A
you
groan.
do a healing word. You're still. I'm gonna say that you're still unconscious.
Okay.
Hadric, from being impaled like that, but you're not going to die because of Fan's efforts. But yeah, Fan, you immediately recognize that name.
9.
You haven't met him in this reality, but that is the name of one of your father's companions from his stories.
Fuck you.
Yeah. As Ander is here.
Oh, I forgot that was Adam's character.
Yeah.
Because that name sounds awfully familiar.
Yes. Adam's character, who is much stronger than you guys because he's an old veteran of a world-changing adventure. But he is here.
Hell yeah.
What's the name of this ship?
And DSS Minnow Johnson. I don't remember. I did write it down. Hold on.
That's not important. It's adding it to my notes, but I should have had that name already in my notes, so I failed. Halfway.
Might not have a name. If I don't, let's see. Oh
I
yeah,
swear you said
the
one.
ship's just called.
I just don't remember.
It's the ship's called the Pride of the Belt.
That's right.
That's where we'll end. As the viewer has the shocking revelation that it is an old person that we know.
Dun dun dun.
That's pretty cool.
Was not expecting.
Can't wait to
a
be like,
golem.
Andrew, you were a friend of my dad. And he'd be like, I never heard of him. And be like, yeah, but you did all this cool stuff. It's like, never did it. Be like, but you did this.
No.
No.
I mean, you'll find out when you talk to him. But he,
Right. Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
excited.
he would.
They remember. Right?
At least if what your Warbin said is true, that he should also remember it.
Yeah, there were like I think like I mean, this is DC lore, and it's very old DC lore. There was like that event, Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they like undid the DC multiverse, basically because of all the continuity issues that cropped up back in like the 80s or whatever. But there were, and like that's what they did was they basically like did Earth Prime only. There's only like one Earth, and they kind of reconciled like all the plot differences, and they nobody remembered the other reality except for a couple of like random people.
And that's not the same one where the Flash did all the special stuff, right?
No, that was
a
Flashpoint.
different but similar thing. Yeah.
In Flashpoint, I think he's the only one that knew that anything was different.
Yeah. And that was the one where like he went to all of the reality where Bruce Wayne died and his dad was Batman
Yes,
with a gun,
Thomas
and
Wayne,
like
yeah.
Wonder Woman was a bitch and all that stuff. Yeah. So yeah,
Whew, that was
good job.
dicey.
Be pirate. I realized
I really liked the idea of like the fucking random bombardments actually just being parts of this golem to
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool
Yeah.
idea.
It's like it's not your traditional cannonballs, you know, sort of deal.
And when I was looking at it, I was like, "Wow, Iron Golem's way too hard." I was like, "Maybe I could just nerf the stats." And then I saw this, and there's just like literally headless Iron Golem. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I mean, that's still way too hard for you guys, but to the point where, for the effect I was going for, which was to like knock one of you guys out and then be scary, and then have Ander come.
What kind of
finish it off.
ranges do those ether bolters have?
120.
120.
range.
It's literally just the firebolt spell, but they can just shoot it infinitely.
My biggest concern I had with that fight was healing Hadric because of the way initiative was set up. I think he went like right after the Iron Golem. So it's like I could heal you on my turn
Yeah.
and I could get you up. But then the Iron Golem, I was
Knock
just
you
thinking
back
like the
down.
Iron Golem could then use his turn to just smush you again before you would even get a turn to do anything.
The only solution to that, I think, is a ready to action to time your heal at your choosing. So you'd have to like ready it to go after the enemy's turn, but before his turn.
Problem is the only heal I have is a bonus action heal. I don't think I can ready those. I have the healing word. I don't have cure wounds.
That is an interesting technicality that I hate. Yeah, something always sat wrong with me about
I think the wording on bonus actions is it's something.
Yeah, I feel the
The
same
wording
way.
on bonus action, it's something that you do particularly quick on your turn, so it's like you wouldn't be able to like.
Yeah, but I
ready an
never
action to do
understood
it.
the like.
It'd be like readying an action to like do the reaction to do something.
Yes, but I never understood the logic that if that's what a bonus action is just some additional quick action that can't be, that isn't the full like the as good as a full action. That would mean to me that you should always be able to sacrifice your full action to do any bonus action, because a full action is always going to be the stronger thing. But I don't think the RAW supports that.
I think I seen a video a while back. It was of an interview of Mike Merles, one of the guys who was working on 5th edition, and he hated bonus actions. That was like one of the things he hated the most about.
Yeah, I mean,
about fifth
personally,
edition.
I would let a player do bonus actions in place of their action. I mean, if they wanted to make that sacrifice, I'd be like, all right, that's bad action economy in my opinion. But if you wanted to do it, I would let you do it because, in my opinion, it's
I like
a
the best system,
waste
and
almost.
I feel like
Yeah,
the
and
best
it's not.
system. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, not only does it not specify, it specifically says, I'm looking at the rules for Ready Action 2024. It specifically says it must have a casting time of 1 action.
Right.
So it specifically,
Yeah.
Says you can't do it. I would let you do it. I think any reasonable person would let you do it, but yeah, it definitely isn't.
It's one of those things that I feel like they wrote that, but they weren't even considering bonus action as something that should have even entered their thought processes there, and then they didn't even think about it.
Well, I think if you look at the description of bonus action, that probably paints out why, at least in their reasoning, it isn't. But I don't know.
But yeah, what is the actual?
I always like Pathfinder's action economy the most.
So the bonus action full text says it's a special action. And now my page is loading. Good. What? Okay. Is a special action that you can take on the same turn that you take an action. Okay, so the only way I can logic this to make sense is it's because it is predicated on some form of you having already taken your action. Oh, so you can't even... Technically, you can't take a bonus action unless you use your action to do something. So, like, if you just sat on your...
What was the wording on it? It said unless you could use your action. It doesn't say you have to use your action.
No, it says is a special action that you take on the same turn that you take an action. You have to take an action.
Yes, but it doesn't say you have to take an action.
What?
That you take an action.
I
think what the wording is
on
like
the same turn.
That
okay, like so. There's like yeah, I understand. There's two ways you can interpret that sentence. It's so bad.
Right, yeah, right, because it means you can't use the bonus action when you do a reaction. It has to be on the turn that you take the action, like that you would take an action.
The old wording on it was just you could only take it on your turn, which makes a lot more sense. Like you can only do the base, and that was the 2014 ruling was that like you can't. Yeah,
And I guess that's the thing too.
I
Like,
don't know. That made a lot more sense.
I
to
would
me. I think the
let
new
you.
one is a little more.
I would let you ready a healing word, but like other than that, like no, you can't say, oh, I could just do a bonus action as an action, because then what if you have two bonus actions? But like, I'll do a healing word as an action and something else as a bonus action. Like that's obviously
Well, yeah,
over the top.
yeah.
Yes, because that would be then
I
two
think the
bonus
real,
actions
like,
which can't be done. Yeah.
I think the problem I have, well, not the problem I have, is like I can't even think of an instance where like they decided to make that ruling because like the spell in question was going to ruin everything, you know? Like, I mean, even in like a hypothetical situation, let's say like you ready an action to cast Shield of Faith or something, right? Which is a bonus action. I guess this would have to come down to your DM actually, now that I think about it. But like you could like when the enemy hits you and then you just like Shield of Faith before he hits you, but I don't know. I can't think of any situation where that'd be more beneficial than just like having taken your bonus action to do that on your turn anyways. Or actually, you know,
Saves
maybe
the
Shield of
spell
Faith
slot.
is shield is a reaction anyway.
well,
Oh, right.
here's actually probably the better reason why you can't do it. Now that I also play out that scenario in my head, is it breaks the action economy of the bonus action and cantrip rule, because there's nothing basically stopping you from saying like on my turn I cast Fireball and then I ready my action to I don't. Does that make sense? Because you still have to like.
No, what
I
it
think
would
to ready
break
your
is
action, you can't do anything on your turn.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So I guess that wouldn't break the action. I don't know. I can't really think of a scenario where it would necessarily like break anything, but I can't think of a situation where it's more beneficial to do it than.
Oh well, where it would break
like
something is if
ready
you
an
have a like, let's say you have like a fifth level spell that's a bonus action and a cantrip that's a bonus action. Like normally you can't cast both of those, but if you were like, oh, I cast a cantrip as an action, then you can still cast the other one as a bonus action. Like, but you can't actually do that.
But now we have magic action.
Okay, I got it. I have the answer. When you do a ready action, when the trigger happens, is it then your turn or is it still the enemy's turn and you're just doing your action?
Technically, you're
Because
using
it's
a
specifically
reaction at that point to execute.
Yeah,
Your
so it's not your
action.
turn.
It's
It's not
still
your
the
turn
enemy's-
anymore.
Yeah.
The bonus,
It's still the enemy's
bonus
turn.
action specifically says you have to take a bonus action on your turn. So you
Yes.
couldn't do it. That's another way you couldn't do it by the rules.
Right.
Again, I would still let you if you were like wanted to do ready action for healing word. I would still let you do it if you didn't cast any other spell. But yeah, it's definitely not how the rules work. If there was a UI, it would be grayed out to do that.
Oh, I think, and yeah. Well, yeah. So the way you could do it safely, I think, is to allow it, but you strictly follow, because there are specifically rules catered towards readying a spell action. Like it burns your spell slot on your turn, and you hold the energy. Taking damage is a conk check. You could lose the spell. Like there's risk to it.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if he were to then, with this exception you made for bonus actions, he could attempt this, but then if he got hit by like a a fire bolter or whatever, aether bolter, and failed the conk check, he'd both burn his spell slot, lose the spell,
Right.
lose all the action economy.
Yeah.
Oh, beer me bathroom.
Also, probably shouldn't have expected you to be like the vindictive DM to hit him after I just got him up. But I feel like it also could have made sense even if you weren't like. I mean, that's what I would have done. But the the thing was like headless too, so I mean, you could have used the excuse. So like, I mean, there was a chance it would have hit him just randomly, anyways. Like, if even if it like, all things included.
Yeah.
So. Like it probably would have hit one of us instead, but definitely not something I was willing to risk. I really just wanted to do my mirror image, like blade word combo though. Which is crazy that those two are together because mirror image is in concentration and blade word is.
Yeah, well, I was excited when you did that because I was like, oh, this is perfect. This will give me some chance to like draw out the fight, and I'm gonna have it attack you, and it's probably gonna hit your mirror image, and that'll be epic, and that'll give them time to like figure out what to do. And then you like ran away, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not gonna have it go up there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fuck that! I ain't going near that. I had 2 hit points left, or 8 or something. I ain't going near that thing. 26 just turn fucking Hadric into a pancake. I need you to write my sci-fi game also while you're writing our main game that we're working on, please. Thank
I'll be happy to. I already have the whole story.
you. I kind of imagine this like Spelljammer game I was gonna run. I didn't have all of it weeded out, but I kind of had like the intro in mind where like the beginning of the game takes place on whatever, like Terra,
No.
Forgotten Realms, Earth or whatever, but like what are you gonna say?
Sorry, I just had an idea, but I don't want to
Okay. But the
overshadow your.
the ship is the beginning of the game is like christening like the launch of this like massive like city ship that is being launched from like one of the biggest like cities, and there's a big celebration around it and all this crap. And then the that's when the enemy shows up, who is basically just like Warforged, but I kind of imagine like Borg, or I didn't really have like their like motivation so much hammered down as like to the point where they more just that they have like point to point like jumping. Like they don't like the ship that's being launched like is like sublight, and like getting around like the solar system still takes like weeks and days between planets. So like the enemy basically that's like taking over the solar system, these Warforged, they have like jump drives. So they don't necessarily like they can't really keep up with us as long as we're like moving in sublight. But like I just kind of imagine something like Battlestar where like you're just constantly having to move around the solar system, like outrunning the or trying to stay one step ahead of this enemy that's just like jumping in and catching up to where you are like very quickly.
Right.
There's almost
Oh,
like
you want to hear that idea that I just came up with?
What's that?
So it plays like a JRPG, right? Because you're still talking about just using the regular RPG Maker, right?
RPG, yes.
So it plays like an RPG, but it's like think like Event Horizon or like Dead Space. It's the start of the game is like you're on like a rescue team, and you go to this like big gargantuan Leviathan ship that's like been missing, and like you get in there, and the entire game takes place in this giant ship, and like the world map is like you going through like different sections of the ship and like finding out what happened. And there's like an alien infestation, and you have to go
That'd be
through
really
this
cool
whole
too.
thing and like to escape the ship at the end. That would be cool.
I think one thing I would really like that could set this game apart that I was thinking of today at work is I kind of want there to be like 3 main characters or 4 main characters you can pick from. And depending on which one you pick, kind of like determines like what the story is going to be. So essentially, there could be like 4 different stories to this game before, or
Right. So it would be like the difference
sorry, maybe
between
like
like
4
picking
different
Chris
endings,
or
but, like,
Jill and like Resident Evil.
yes, yeah, exactly. And then like the other 3 characters would still be a part of the story, but like different stuff would happen depending on like which character you actually like pick as the main one. I don't know. That
Oh,
that
that'd
could
be
be
cool.
kind of cool. That could work pretty well for like an alien type game, like you were saying too. Like you just have like a very like Resident Evil like you mentioned with between the 2 main characters.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing something that isn't like your traditional like RPG classes too. Like maybe we just make up like we just call it like mercenary or something, and you just get like more abilities that are like gun or I don't know. It doesn't really have to make sense or like follow like your traditional like we don't need like swordsman and magician or whatever.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like I imagine like our classes would be like mercenary, cyborg. I don't know. It would just be like fantasy related
Yeah.
shit. Maybe we just have like a variety of
I think that'd
weapons,
be
so
cool.
like guns and I don't know, like different armor and stuff, depending on who you pick. But
No, that would be cool.
maybe at some points during the game, like they team up too, so like some of the armor could be like useful for your party if you have to. We could work all that in later. But. I think for a game like that, I was imagine I don't know if this plugin that I was looking at could do this. I imagine it could, but it would be neat to do a game that has like a D2 style like light circle or light cone around you. So like you're mostly like if this is a horror game, like most of the ships just like dark, right? Like you only can see
Yeah.
a few tiles ahead of you at any point and maybe like some light in the distance or something. But or if you have a flashlight, like it shines a few like things ahead of you. I don't know. I'm sure it's probably possible. I think the one thing that people would like about a game like that, and I was thinking about like the multiple characters thing today, is just like leaning heavily into some kind of system like that would be really fun and adds a lot of replayability to it too. And then
Mm-hmm.
just even seeing like how different people progress. Even just playing this like keep driving game today, it's like got a lot of like roguelite elements to it. I want to see a few different endings in that game. That's why Undertale is so good also. Unfortunately, Undertale is also like a 20-hour game. I want to buy Deltarune. Thinking about it. Played chapter 1, had the demo of it. It's such a weird JR or weird game. I don't know if you've seen just like how or if I'm sure you're familiar with Undertale.
Which game? Oh yeah.
Deltarune, the second game after Undertale.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I don't know what it is.
There's a segment in it where you're playing like you're basically in like high school, and if you're trying to play through like the pacifist mode, the school bully gets like put into your party, and it's like your normal like JRPG like turn-based like team versus team like combat. But like if you don't want to do damage and like you can't hurt or kill anything in a pacifist run, you have to like warn the enemies that like one of your allies and your team is about to make an attack against them and like try to like help them like not get hurt. The game just does such a good job